Louisiana Tech University for the state of Louisiana. And I would ask all of you, if you will, to stand as with a band of pride, who are all engineering and science majors. As they play our national anthem, and then I will invite our SGA president and industrial engineering major, Abby Olson, to lead us in the invocation.
Gathering everyone here today. We thank you for all the efforts that have gone into designing, constructing, and preparing this new space of learning for Louisiana Tech's campus. We pray that you guide all future engineers, chemists, and STEM field majors that will have the privilege to be taught in this facility. Lord God, we remember that you are the greatest engineer, the structural designer of our lives, and the foundation to which we rely on. Please infuse us with even a small spark of your divine wisdom so that we may do your work properly in accordance to your will. We also ask for your protection and safe travels for all of our visitors who have gathered in your name today. In your name, we pray. Amen.
Amen. Please be seated. Thank you, Abby. So today is a day for us to be able to express gratitude for those who have played such important roles in making this integrated engineering and science building a reality. As we celebrate the university's 125th birthday, this facility and other projects across our campus symbolize Tech's growth and its energy. With the founding of the Industrial Institute and College of Louisiana on July the 6th, 1894, and legislation authored by Representative George M. Lomax, this institution was chartered and has maintained a focus on providing a first-class, practical, and innovative education in engineering and science. And for 125 years, special facilities have been designed, constructed, and used to support these priorities, beginning with founding President Arthur T. Prescott's establishment of Tech's first building, Old Main, that was the home for the Department of Mechanics, to the construction of the Mechanic Arts Building in 1904, to the construction of the legendary Bogart Hall, named after Dean Frank Bogart, that was opened in 1940, to the completion of Nefkin Hall in 1967, to the establishment of the Biomedical Engineering Building in 2005, led by President Dan Renault. And now, this grand, integrated engineering and science building, a building that reflects the approach for innovative teaching and experiential learning that have been a hallmark of Louisiana Tech for 125 years. So this building symbolizes the loyalty and commitment of our alumni and friends who've been so generous. It symbolizes the excellence of leadership of those who came before us. And the building symbolizes our hopes and our dreams, not only for Louisiana Tech, but for our region, for our state, and for the nation. The concept for this building was first advanced when capital outlay funds for new buildings were practically non-existent. Yet the vision was so compelling that our faculty and supporters planned for better days and laid the foundation for that time to come. And despite all of the challenges, we're here today to celebrate this magnificent building. And we dedicate it with gratitude for those who have gone before us and for anticipation for those who will come after us. As we begin this celebration, I want to recognize those who are here today that have played such essential roles in our coming to this point. And certainly no one played a more pivotal role in our honorable Governor, John Bel Edwards. We have been thrilled with our Commissioner for Higher Education, Dr. Kim Hunter-Reed, who is bringing a new vision for having impacts in higher education across this state. We're so pleased that she's here with us. The president of our University of Louisiana system, Dr. Jim Henderson, has also been transformative in the way that he's worked to bring 9 institutions together to work as one and to really advance education and economic impacts of our universities in special ways. Dr. Jim Henderson, thank you. I would not be here, and so many of us have benefited through this man's presence and his leadership on this campus for many years, and I appreciate his mentorship. It was under his administration when this building was first conceived, and he did a lot of the planning and raising some funds to make this happen. Our President Emeritus, Dr. Dan Renaud. My very close friend who did establish the vision for this building, the passion, got together when everyone else thought it was not possible, began to get a lot of buy-in and support from many of the people in this room. And we're so glad he's here to join us today to be a part of this special day. Louisiana Tech Vice President Emeritus and former Dean of the College of Engineering and Science, Stan Edwards. Dean of Engineering and Science, Hisham Higab, is here, and he will be making some remarks in a few minutes. Thank you, Hisham. And of course, our terrific SGA President, Addie Olson. I'm looking forward to working with her throughout the year. We also have a number of people in the audience who have they're state representatives and government employees, and so I'd like to recognize our Secretary of Labor, Ava Deschwa. Senator Jay Luno has played such a pivotal role. Senator, I'm trying to look to see if he's looking. Senator Mike Walsworth, I'm going to recognize him for the work that he did, and certainly Senator Jim Fannin have both played pivotal roles for this building. Representative Chris Turner in our district here. Chris, where are you? Thank you so much. All that you're going to continue to do, we appreciate that. Representative Patrick Jefferson is also our representative and has done a wonderful job in supporting us. I'm going to recognize a former state representative that certainly we would not be here today without the role that Rob Shadow would play. And Rob, thank you so much. Our mayor of the city of Ruston, it couldn't be a better situation right now between the city and the university, Mayor Ronnie Walker. Thank you for that. We had with us last night at a pep rally downtown, our Mayor Brandling, Ed Jones. I don't believe I've seen him here this morning. The chairman of our Louisiana Board of Regents, doing a great job, Marty Chabert. Also a regent and past chair of the board, Bob Levy. Our chairman of the University of Louisiana System, Mark Romero. Mark, thank you. We also have a member of our University of Louisiana System board, Sean Murphy. I saw Sean here a little bit earlier. And, oh, there she is, Liz Pierre, member of the board. Thank you. I'll pass it to you. There have been a lot of other people working to make this building happen. I want to recognize one person that's on our campus that nothing like this happens without a lot of sleepless nights from this person, and that's Sam Wallace. Sam, thanks for and all of our administration, our faculty and staff. I can't tell you over the past few weeks how many of our faculty and staff have been in here getting this building to this point, particularly Heath Timms and his team. Heath, thank you so much for all of your work. And there are many others, but we're grateful for each and every one of your participation. Things like this don't happen without a big team, a lot of people getting behind us, and we're real grateful. So now I'd like to recognize Dr. Hisham Higab, Dean of the College of Engineering and Science.
Welcome. Exciting day. Today we honor the legacy of excellence in the College of Engineering and Science. Louisiana Tech was established to provide technical education and led with a 2-year program in mechanic arts that began in 1895. In 1910, that program expanded to a 4-year bachelor's degree, and later on in the 1920s, early 1920s, began our first bachelor's of engineering degree. Since that time, the college has grown and thrived over the past 100+ years, and has placed itself at the forefront of engineering education with the creation of new curricula and teaching pedagogies. Examples of these include groundbreaking programs such as biomedical engineering, nanosystems engineering, and more recently cyber engineering, and unparalleled educational programs like our Living with the Lab and Living with Cyber curriculum for freshmen. The education environment provided by this facility will allow us to carry its legacy forward into this next century. It is specifically designed with many class lab spaces that allow our faculty to rapidly go between lecture topic to hands-on projects that illustrate the concepts. It's the exact same classroom space. Many of the rooms are larger in size to accommodate supporting equipment and instruments to be located directly within the room. As you can see, there are numerous gathering spaces as well for students and faculty to collaborate outside of the classroom, outside of their scheduled class meetings that help facilitate the development of very critical soft skills like communication, teamwork, and collaboration. This facility was all built into the design of the spaces. I want to thank Ben Bledsoe and his architectural team. Ben's back there, on steer there. For their incredible work for this facility. They listened to our needs, our desires and passions, and incorporated into this fantastic design. Construction of this facility began in January 2018. It's 128,000 square feet. It has 12 classrooms, 24 different class lab type spaces, and has the capacity to teach more than 1,000 students at a time fully utilized. Because of the integrated nature of our programs, every student in the College of Engineering and Science, all 3,000 of them, will have opportunities to use, study, and learn in this facility. And even beyond that, majors across the entire campus will get to use the facility as well and take classes here, whether it be in math, chemistry, physics, and sciences. We look forward to hosting our first class during the upcoming winter quarter and want to invite you now to mark your calendars for homecoming weekend, November 9th, where we hope we will have more of a grand opening type event to celebrate. But I want to thank and acknowledge Don Barron, contractors, and the many subcontractors that have been working very hard to complete this facility in this tight time frame. I know we have many Louisiana Tech alums among them, and that they have taken some special pride in their work on this facility. As already mentioned, the inspiration for this facility began with my predecessor, Dr. Stan Nafford here on the right, our former college dean. We were discussing when the initial date was, but it's been probably 10 plus years, but the idea was generated and taken forward to go forward with a new facility, a new building. The scope and size of the project in this facility changed dramatically from that first inception, but here we are today. Thank you, Stan, for your vision and action. In addition to the vision of our university leadership and administration, and especially the support of our governor, John Bel Edwards, and the many other government officials, the tireless work of architects and contractors, another critical component has been our donors, both large and small. They have played a significant role in making this project a reality. In total, we had nearly 400 alumni and friends give and commit nearly $8 million towards this project. And it was critical to its going forward and moving to this date. I would like to take this opportunity to recognize several of those individuals and corporations for their exceptional and generous leadership throughout this project, including the American Electric Power Foundation. I think Malcolm Smoke might be here kind of representing them. Bill and Sharon Bailey, George and Jean Baldwin, Roger and Joan Danzig, the Dow Chemical Company Foundation, the Eastman Foundation, Don Mashburn, the estate of Aubrey J. McCollum, Hunt Gio and Associates, Sandy Johnson, Zephyr and Mindy Lucas, Tim and Elaine Petrus, Danny and Renee Frey, Deborah Richter, Bill and Nancy Slack, Jim and Mary Terrell, King Tool Company, the late Ray Wallace, and there are many others. We have a banner here to thank all of our donors that we've acknowledged on. Please take a moment as you walk around afterwards and take a look at the list of names. I want to say a great thank you to all of you. It's an exciting time for all of us, and we greatly look forward to using this facility very soon. At this time, I would like to introduce the President and CEO of the ULS system, Jim Henderson.
Thank you very much for the introduction, and I hope everyone is enjoying that crisp autumn weather this morning. We left Baton Rouge this morning at about 4. It was only 75 degrees and 94% humidity, and it feels football weather. And looking forward to a great event today. And what an incredible event this is, showcasing this wonderful building. But we're able to do this because we're in an environment, funding environment for higher education you haven't heard us talk about a lot. In fact, you haven't heard funding come out of our mouths for quite some time. And when college presidents aren't talking about government funding, you know it's a different age. And I'm so glad that our governor could be here because Louisiana has ended a decade-long disinvestment in talent development. It's created stability, and this year we had the first significant reinvestment in our work in more than a decade. And our board members that are here, our chair, Mark Romero, our past chair, Al Perkins, Sean Murphy from Jonesboro High, Liz Pierre, the lot that they're here is one of the reasons why they were secure 3 years ago in working with our 9 presidents and doing systemic work. And they said, let's be audacious and let's create the most educated generation in Louisiana's history. So that's an aspiration that's worthy of who we are. It's one of the reasons why we created these systemic initiatives like the Reginald F. Lewis Educational Equity Initiative. It promises to elevate all Louisianians to a higher level. It's why we launched Compete Louisiana, and you can download the app today. It's on the App Store, where we can focus on the 653,000 Louisiana adults that have some college education but no degree, and help them knock down the barriers and bureaucracy that can prevent an adult from coming back to school, and they can enjoy and contribute to this growing Louisiana economy. And while it's fun to talk about systemic work, it all happens right here on college campuses. And you could not find a more extraordinary, a more just superb college campus than Louisiana Tech. This building symbolizes that. When my dad hitchhiked from Jennings, Louisiana in 1941 to Louisiana Tech, and when my mother got on the bus in Jonesboro Hodge to come to Tech in 1958, I dare say they could not have imagined a facility like this. But they were touched by the 125 history devoted to students, devoted to creating learners that could contribute, learners that can continue to adapt to an ever-changing world. And my is it changing now. You know, I'm struck by the artistry of this building. You see, the way Tech does engineering is not like anyone else does it. They're not teaching people what to do. They're teaching students how to think. You see these well, thank you. These band members behind us here, science and engineering majors, right, that are learning the artistry of music and how you can take disparate sounds and bring them together to make something that's quite beautiful, like this building is. You see, the future of work demands not only STEM majors, but thinkers who know how to think critically, who can solve problems, who can communicate effectively, who can work with people from all kinds of different cultural and socioeconomic backgrounds, and who can adapt. My favorite longshoreman philosopher, Eric Hoffer, said that in times of change, learners inherit the earth while the learned find themselves beautifully equipped to deal with a world that no longer exists. This building represents a university that is focused on preparing learners for the future. Learners that will be creating the environments that we live in and work in 2030, in 2040, in 2050. And folks, we could not be in better hands than we are when President Les Guice in Louisiana Tech. It's an exciting day. And I'm excited about the work that we're doing at the University of Louisiana system, certainly on our campuses. But it would not be possible for us to do this work, or it would be a whole lot harder for us to do this work if we didn't have a policy environment that was not only conducive to this work, but challenged us to take this work to the new level. And so while I'm not going to steal thunder about how that challenge has taken place, I do want to introduce to you a very special partner who came back home about 15 months ago and has already helped us create the most audacious vision for higher education that Louisiana has, I dare say, has ever seen in its history. So please join me in giving a very, very warm welcome to our Commissioner of Higher Education and a dear partner and friend, Commissioner Kim Hunter-Reid.
Good morning. Thank you, Pastor Henderson, for that fantastic. You know, we have to be evangelical about this work because we have the opportunity to do amazing things. And when I walked into this facility today, a student named Tyler shook hands with me. So I had an opportunity to touch the future and to walk into a building that represents the future of our state, of this community, a place where we are caring about students, we are innovating, we are moving students forward. So I want to join all of the voices that are here today to say how excited we are for this work. My chairman is here, Bob Levy, my former chairman is here, and so many of you elected officials, this president and President Emeritus, certainly our governor, who had a vision for this opportunity. It's easy to plan when things are strong, when the economy is strong and when money is flowing. But it is much more challenging to say, I have a vision and we're going to figure out how to do it together in a public and private partnership when times are hard. This represents the opportunity to say, we had a vision, you had a vision, and you've made it a reality. You heard the dean talk about what this building means in terms of building and collaboration in large classrooms. But for us, we know that this means change and opportunity for students. Students who will have an opportunity to have exposure and education, to expand their world and to improve ours because they've had a Louisiana Tech experience. This building represents one more fantastic asset for a campus that cares and for a campus that is best in class in our state and in our nation. And so I'm so happy to come today as we think about, as Jim mentioned, how to educate and collaborate and innovate in Louisiana. We stand shoulder to shoulder because we believe in education in our state, because we know it's transformational for families, for communities, and for individuals. And so I wanted to come today to add my voice, to say congratulations on a job well done, to say thank you for investing in our state and in our students, and to also say today we are very happy that we are all members of the Band of Pride, a band that is sitting that Louisiana is a place where opportunity will happen. We are joining our voices together to harmonize those sounds and to send a very clear and bright opportunity for everyone in our state. And so I thank you for the opportunity to join all of you here today. Thank you.
Higher education's in great hands. So 3 weeks after our governor took office, he made a trip up to Ruston, Louisiana. Never will forget it. Came and met with us in our conference room and listened to our spiel about the things that we were doing and shared with us his vision for the future. We took him down in the basement of Bogart Hall, and while classes were taking place and seeing the energy in those classrooms, and again, helping him see why this kind of facility was going to be important. We thank you for your commitment to be here so early in your office. And he's been here over and over. Even the morning after the tornado ripped through our campus, one of the first people to show up around here was the governor. And that meant an awful lot to us, and he's been here several times since then. But this building certainly would not have happened without his commitment. And listen, there were no capital outlay funds that were there to really do these kinds of things. And we know that you made a big commitment to this institution by doing that. But you not only demonstrated your commitment to this institution, you laid out hope for all of higher ed, and you've continued to do that through your continued investments in higher education. And I'm very grateful for you, and I know I speak on behalf of all of the presidents of the University of Louisiana system and all of higher education. So we're proud to have you here today to be able to dedicate this wonderful new facility. Ladies and gentlemen, our governor, John Bel Edwards.
Thank all of you. It's great to be on campus today and not touring tornado damage. Although, I will tell you, as tough as that day was for this community, it was also a day to find inspiration, because we saw the community come together. The mayor and the president and I went around town, we went around the university, and we saw people working so hard. This was just hours after it happened, working so hard to clean up. And they weren't just cleaning up their own property. They were neighbors helping neighbors. They were students. Many of them not even from the Ruston area or not from Louisiana, but they were in town. And they were seeking out those people who lived here that maybe were widows or old or handicapped. And were figuring out what could they do to clean up those properties. And my commitment to you all is that we will rebuild those facilities that were damaged here, bigger and better, and sooner than you might think. Congratulations to Tech on being 125 years old. That's exceptional. Ty Bromell told me he only attended college for about half of that time. Look, I appreciate being here with all of you today to dedicate this integrated engineering and science building. And everybody here, these are just tremendous leaders, and by the way, a lot of tremendous leaders in the audience as well, but particularly around higher education, and they get it. And I'm so proud of the work that they're doing, not just here at Tech, but all around the state of Louisiana. And I'm especially proud of someone that I went to Amy High School with, and that's Dr. Hisham Picap, and the leadership that he is providing here at Louisiana Tech. Look, Tech has consistently been on the forefront of providing first-class education for the 21st century. I think a leading example of that is your cyber engineering program, the first of its kind in the nation. And with the additional funding commitments that have been made, with the anticipated growth of that cybersecurity research lab, Louisiana Tech is on track to be the #1 producer of cyber engineering degrees in the United States. That's world class, and today we're celebrating another world-class facility that's going to prepare even more students for those jobs and careers. And Dr. Henderson was exactly right. If you're going to be successful in the future, you can't just teach students what they have to know. You have to teach them how to learn. Because their jobs are going to change. Unlike previous generations, they're going to have 6 or 8 different jobs, each requiring new sets of knowledge and skills. And so the way to set them up for success is to teach them how to learn, teach them how to think, not what they have to know at that particular time, although that is important too. That's what's taking place here at Louisiana Tech and around the state of Louisiana, because the higher education community really does get it. And when you talk about having jobs and careers, we want those jobs and careers available here in Louisiana. If someone chooses to leave to take advantage of an opportunity, God bless them. But what we have is the ability to create a virtuous cycle. Because when we have, and by the way, we're doing a really good job at it now, the talent pipeline in place to inspire confidence in decision makers that if they will invest in Louisiana, they will have the trained, the skilled, the educated employees they need to be successful, then they will invest in Louisiana. And so not only are we creating opportunity and prosperity for our students, we're creating it right here in Louisiana where they don't have to leave. And we're seeing that take place with our renewed commitment to higher education. You can't do it if every year you're cutting higher ed. You can't do it. You can't go into that meeting and look at a CEO and say, we're committed to this, and because they see what you're doing in the budget as well. Which is why we had to fix that budget deficit when I came into office. Which is why we had to right-size the capital outlay program. We were billions of dollars out of capacity. But we were able to do it through a lot of hard work. And by the way, this project, this facility, was the first new construction on a college campus authorized by my administration for the first 3 years. That's where we were. Now, we're doing much better today. But we wouldn't be here today had it not been for the persistence, the perseverance of your leaders like Les Guice and others who made the case time and time again. And we were able to make it happen under difficult circumstances. I also want to thank Rob Shatman, the state representative at the time, Jay Luno, state senator, because they kept bringing it to my attention and saying, look, this is just something we're going to have to figure out how to do it. So we were able to do that. And we were able to commit $30 million from the state. I think we put it with about $8 million that was raised here locally. And that is that partnership that we've been talking about this morning. That's how it's supposed to work, and that's how people in Louisiana Tech make this work. And it was as a result of this project and others in our renewed commitment to higher education, our state is in a much better place today. In a much better place. The size of our economy measured by GDP has never been bigger than it is right now, and it's growing at the 10th fastest rate in the country. Personal income in the state of Louisiana is the highest it has ever been. It's growing faster than the national average. Unemployment today is at an 11-year low, and in the last 12 months, no state in the nation has exceeded or equaled our decline in unemployment. Per capita debt is down for the first time in more than a decade. It's because we're getting investment in Louisiana to take advantage of the talent that is being developed right here at Louisiana Tech and other institutions all across the state of Louisiana. 168 major economic development projects bringing in $41 billion in just the last 3.5 years. So if we love Louisiana, and we do, and if we want this state to be what we want it to be for our children and our grandchildren, you cannot get there without investing in higher education. This is what success looks like. These students lined up behind me. This is what success looks like. So I want to thank all the leadership here. Les, you are a tremendous president for this university, and I want to thank you for all of your hard work. My commitment is to continue to partner with this university and all of the community and technical colleges and universities across the state of Louisiana so that we can keep moving our state forward, keep creating opportunity and prosperity right here in Louisiana. God bless you. Thank you so much.